7
Look
minutes.
at the three amigos.
We're here. Hey guys, it is special day because I get sandwiched between these two awesome dudes.
Stud sandwich. Okay.
Exactly.
Officially embarrassed.
Oh well, it's fine.
I should have worn green.
I should have worn
You
green.
do kind of have
It's
a
like
piney.
a gray,
It's
yeah.
like a piney gray green.
Okay, thank you for saying that because that was it was called Dusty Pine.
There you go. There you go. It is.
All right, now you got your shades of green that you can pick shirts from. Okay, guys. Well, welcome. It is week 11, and we are almost done. I know a lot of you guys are probably on cruise control, but as we're heading into the last bit of the challenge, and you may be getting a little antsy about the end of it and flying off onto your own without all the love and support from your CK challenge, we're going to talk a little bit about a lesson that you got today, or not today, sorry, just this week. I can't remember what day it was, but it's called the importance of consistency and accountability. And I have to say, those two things are what is going to create success in any kind of change, any kind of journey that you're on to change where you're at and move forward. But another thing that we're going to talk about is effort required. We joke a lot that Clean Kitchen is called the Adulting 101 program, because while we do have certain structures and systems and stuff in place to help get you going, there is a part of it that you have to take responsibility for, and basically you are the one that has to make the choices.
We're teaching you to fish.
Right.
If you don't fish, you don't eat.
Right.
So.
And it would be super easy just to hand out a bunch of meal plans and, tell you this generic X, Y, and Z, okay, you're going to eat this, that, and whatever. But who actually really is that life?
No.
Life doesn't follow those type of plans.
No, because you're always going to get an audible. You're always going to be in a situation where if Jamie hands you a meal plan and you're like, all right, I'm supposed to eat tuna at 12 o'clock, and you go to your grandma's house to eat Sunday dinner and there's no tuna there. So what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Oh, I know, I need to pick up my phone and call my coach. Well, Sunday they're hanging out with their family and unplugged, for the first time all week long, and they don't answer. What do I do now?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why.
Or if you had a restaurant rotation, where you're like, hey, I go to this restaurant on Monday because I get this clean item, and I go here on Tuesday, and then all of a sudden a pandemic happens.
Yeah.
When all those places close, what do you do?
Yeah. So through the whole challenge,
Was that a hypothetical? Or
It was a completely hypothetical situation.
Got
you have been building up to this point. Little by little, you have gotten information, lessons, and ways assignments that we've given you to try to apply what you're learning. But it's all been kind of gradually building up to the end of the challenge, where you can make these type of decisions whenever you get an audible type of thing, where scenarios aren't exactly how you planned or expected them to go. You can make, I like your word, pivot.
Pivot.
Yes.
Pivot.
You're able to pivot, and you're able to, think spur of the moment and make a quick decision and not falter back to old patterns, because you have knowledge and you know how to make those choices in that, icky type of situation. But, that's where we kind of get into, when people feel like they failed, there's probably several people right now in the challenge. You may be watching this video and maybe you just threw your hands up 1 month in, but hopefully, even if you hadn't been checking off your habits, hopefully you've been, reading those lessons, because like we said in a few videos back, you may not be ready to do all the changes, but you're also learning a ton of stuff that can help you make baby steps, and maybe later you can take that knowledge and apply it when you are ready to change.
I'll tell you one thing that Jamie is very, 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 very good at, and I've just noticed this. I don't know why it's taking me this long.
Can't wait to hear this.
You good with this? Is making systems. She is very good at systemizing things. She is very good at adding structure to things. what's crazy is because she's more of a creative than anything else. She's very good at creating things and very good at creating the systems and structures. So when you look at Clean Kitchen as a whole, that's what it is. It's a system and it's a structure in which it helps you make decisions, i.e. adulting. Because we have to make hard decisions all the time. Like, is my kid going to virtual learn? Is he going to school?
Yes.
And that's why this is stressful, is because there's no one that's gone before us and done this before and made these decisions. There's no roadmap for us to follow. That's why Clean Kitchen works, is because it is a roadmap and it does have systems and it does have structures.
Yeah.
And that's where I guess it's kind of frustrating sometimes as coaches when we provide a system, we provide structure, we provide feedback, we provide positive feedback, negative feedback, or basically what we call constructive criticism.
Yeah.
And you get clients, some of them, I would say 50% or more, grab it and they're like, yes, I got it, I understand.
It's responsibility.
Yeah, they grab, yes, they go like, hey, thanks for the game plan, I love it, and I'm going to run with it.
If you're open to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I coached basketball in high school or high school kids for about 4.5 to 5 years, and we had some very successful teams. And the players that were super successful on the court weren't necessarily the most talented. They were the ones that came early. They stayed late. If I said, hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z, they would do it. So they were the more gritty people, the ones that were like, hey, I'm going to follow instructions. I'm going to listen to what my coach said and apply it. Yes. Those were the ones that did really well all the time. The ones that may have been a little bit more talented but wanted to go out on the weekends, they didn't come for Saturday shoot-arounds, they didn't do the extra work. All I could do was kind of apologize and say, I'm sorry, but you're not going to be able to play because so-and-so has gotten a little bit better than you because they've been doing the extra work. They've been putting in the extra hours. They've been doing the extra things, and that's why they've gotten better.
Yeah, that just reminded me, when I was listening to the Compete Every Day, he talks about bench players, when he was a bench player and he wasn't expecting to start. And so I guess he got thrown into a game, I'm not remembering this correctly, got thrown into a game but that he wasn't ready for.
Yeah.
So you have to, even if you're not like the starter, or you're not like the star student, you still need to prep like you want to be.
Yeah, you always
and that's like real world for me. Like one of the biggest characteristics you can have for success is adaptability. And the more like tools or skills you have at your disposal, the more adaptable you are to situations.
Correct.
And that's what Clean Kitchen does. It gives you a bucket load of tools and skills to learn, so no matter what situation comes your way, you can adapt to that situation and succeed.
Yes, absolutely. So, and we always say this, like, don't compare your results or your journey or your steps to anyone else's, because everybody's got different goals, they've got different discipline, different priorities in life outside of health and fitness too as well. So it's, especially nowadays, everybody's stressed about something, going on. So, you can't compare yourself to other people's results or other people's steps, but you can prepare yourself to be the person that you want to become. So when we say, you become the habits, that's you being, maybe not the starter or star student, but you're preparing and you're open, you're coachable, and being responsible to what effort you put into it. And so if you keep putting in the effort, you're gonna be the starter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. In my experience when I was coaching, like you just said, you put in the effort and all that kind of stuff, they're gonna get in the game. And they're gonna play. And they're gonna hit the shot when they need to hit it, or they're gonna hit the free throws when they're being fouled and put to the line, and you're like, praise God, like it's paying off. This is awesome. The thing that was still frustrating, and it makes sense in the sports and for me on the high school level, the coach never gets to play the game.
Right.
I know the plays. Like, we used to run this play called Black. Dude, this thing was awesome. Like, it had so many screens in it, and like we played basketball, so it had a bunch of screens in it, and just, you would get open if you knew how to run it, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I couldn't get in the game.
Yeah.
Like, the coach can't get in the game. So like in the CK world, like I can't do it for you. Like I can't walk around and go, No,
Yep.
put it down. Like, I mean, I
I
could.
wish I had somebody that did that.
Listen, look,
I did do that.
if y'all
I
want
did
to
that
talk,
to Stephanie one time.
There's a price.
there is a
There
price.
is a price.
I will shut this gym down, and I will come follow you around, and he will too.
There is a price. Yes.
She's kind of busy, but we will
I ain't
follow
doing
you
it.
around.
I am in the business of teaching you to fish.
You don't want to pay the price. But
Yeah.
But the coach can't get in the game.
Right.
Like, we can't be in the game with you. And look, we have some coaches, I kid you not, they will get in that darn game with you as much as they
Yeah.
possibly can. They love you, they want to help you, they want to be there for
Yeah.
you. They want to like literally coddle you as a baby bird and never push you out of the nest.
And it's more
We
like
have
me
some.
I'm going like, they're not learning.
Yes. And that's the, for me as a CK coach, that it's a frustrating part of it, I
Yeah.
guess, because I would say there's a very small certain percentage of clients that they want you to do that, and the thing is that's just not real world. It's just not. We can't.
And it's almost like a tough love.
Well,
you know,
it's like you have to
situation.
want it for yourself. We can't want it for you.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
At the end of the day,
I
you
want
have
it
to
for
decide.
you.
Like tough love is you have to want this for yourself, and you
Yeah.
have to be willing to put forth the mental energy to do it. We can't like do that for you.
Right.
There's just no way.
Yeah, and so as we're coming to an end, next week's week 12, progress pictures are due. If you have not, taken those pictures, take them, compare week 1, week 12. You have a chance to win $1,000. But next week, there's still some really good lessons coming up, and like one particularly that was one lesson, and I split it to 2 because it was way too long. But it's identifying what is your 20%, and then I actually go into what my 20% looks like. But as we come to the end, like I really want, and all of your coaches really want you to kind of dive into, what you're going to do past CK. When you don't have that accountability, when you don't have the habit tracker, when you don't have your coach to, bounce, messages back and forth with. Of course, you'll always have the Facebook group, and you can utilize that if you want to. But what are you gonna? How do you feel when you're about to do the liftoff? And how do you feel about your own effort towards what you've been doing right now? Have you been preparing for that game day? Like game day is about to be week 13. Have you taken responsibility for your choices? Are you trying? If you feel unsuccessful, can you have that self-reflection where you can honestly critique your own effort, because regardless of your results that you've had, regardless of your score on the app, if you've kept up in any capacity of reading your lessons every single day or just kind of sporadically reading stuff, you have learned something that you were never going to forget. You've learned a perspective about your journey that you can take and not be crazy. And hopefully it's a lot of common sense that you are going to be able to apply past week 13. So if there's anything else that y'all want to add, I think that was pretty good. We just want to really, really encourage everybody to keep up with the consistency, but more importantly, find some accountability. Find your tribe of people that are like-minded like you, that are going to encourage you to continue on. We keep going back to the topic environment. Environment is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were talking a little bit about this earlier, but environment outside of the challenge, when you're done, is going to be a make or break situation. So if you do need help trying to figure out some of those limiting factors, if you still don't feel safe in your environment, reach out to your coach in the Facebook group. That's what we're here for. Like Steve said, we are the coaches, but you are the players in the game. So it's going to be on you to execute.
True.
But anyways, we will end it there. And
Take your photos.
Take your photos. Take the photos.
Whether that week 12 happens now or 6 years from now, you're gonna want that one.
Right.
Just tell me. Just take
Yes, absolutely.
it. Take it.
And then you will get instructions this weekend, I do to your app on Wednesday in your cart. So if you have any questions about that,